All right, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. As you see, we did fall below the moving averages, got rejected from the 200, bounced right off the bottom of our purple zone, and came back up to the 200, still being held down, made a lower high. Now we are converging and diverging back and forth away from these moving averages. Your BBWP, which measures volatility, is very low. So I would expect a little bit more consolidation, possibly in between these moving averages from the 21 and the 50 to the 200. So right now your RSI is coming in at the neutral zone, up in the upper neutral zone, above your signal line. You need to stay above basically 19086 in order to stay above that signal line. So if we fall below 19K, which is our major support at this last low, basically, that will be the bearish case. Also, your MACD, which is also a momentum oscillator, judges bullish and bearish momentum. That would also, look, continues rising above 19088, which coincides with our level. We can cross below the signal line as long if we get down to 1917, which basically 19K, and cross below the zero line if we get below 1858 or 18858. So in order to be bullish, we need to stay above that signal line. So basically 19K is where we're talking about right here. All right, if we stay above 19K, where you can potentially be bullish, but basically we need to break the 200 on a 1 hour closure. So we need to get above 19,300, and on a 1 hour closure, I would even say 19,350. I would like to see. I would expect to come up to the bottom of the zone at 19,500. Then it's going to matter whether we can make a higher high. Then, yeah, 19,300 is where I'm looking at. So you also got your 50 here on the 4 hour. I would like to see us get above there. So basically 19,400. All right, your RSI did get out of the bearish control zone on the 4 hour, coming up to the neutral median line. If we can get back above these last highs on the RSI, we could potentially be bullish. Now, on the 4 hour, we will cross the signal line if we get below 19K, which is coinciding with a lot right now. Your MACD below the zero line, but your positive momentum's kind of remaining stable. Here on the histogram, you did get a retest of the signal line and a resumption up. Oh, also continues rising above if we stay above 18,977. So these levels are coinciding with about 19K, which is what I said. We need to stay above 19K. Bearish case is that we drop below 19K on a 1 hour closure. I would expect a small bounce at the 18,600 level. But after that, I think we would go down to 18K. I mean, a lot is riding on whether we break this high or low right now. So definitely stay nimble. Like I said, if we can get back above the 200, I would expect a minor rejection from the 19,500, probably come back down to the 200. Now, if we come up here and make a bull trap, that won't look good. If we go up there and then close below the 200, that will signify a bull trap. All right, so once we get up there, stay nimble, because if we just jump above into this red zone or in this purple zone like we did right here and get a bull trap, this next time I think we will go down to 18K, probably even lower, because it's going to get weaker these levels. We got front ran this time at the 18,200 region, and then front ran again at the 18,100 region. But next time I think we go to 18K, and I think we would break it. All right, so let's see. On the 4 hour, your BBWP is crossing below its moving average, which, as I said, this is measurement of volatility. Looks like we're going into lower zone. So we're kind of creating a range here. Could consolidate a little more, like I said, but a lot is going to depend on whether we stay above 19K. All right, so that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, except for the stochastic. Stochastic is in the oversold region. We have been bouncing around in between the bearish control zone and the oversold. We are still below our signal line. Now, we're on the weekly right now. So we are above we are at a double order block, bullish order block. So there is demand in this zone. Stochastic is pointing up, and we are in the bullish control zone. So we could come up to the top of the band, like I said, at 19,300. And if we close above that band, we will come up to the next order blocks at probably 19,750. And what would that coincide with? 19,750 coincide with getting up in basically where this last bull trap area was. So that's what's going to decide. All right, now on the daily, we need to get back above 22, basically 300 on a 1 hour closure. I mean, as you see, we made a lower low here. So on the medium term time frames, it's not looking too good. We are still in the bearish control zone, getting rejected from the top. Looks like we could be crossing that signal line MACD. Fresh cross to the downside. Negative momentum isn't really much right now, but if we do get a retest and start picking up a downside curvature, we will be in trouble. Now, BBWP, as the price action went up, started to contract pretty violently, crossing below its moving average, dropping below into the lower zone. So it makes me think this move right here could be a corrective move, and we can resume down. If we do touch 18K again, I do think we break it. All right, so once again, bullish case is that you break this last high right here and the 200 at 19,300. And then the bearish case is that you break the last low at basically 19,980 or 18,980. Basically just this last low. All right, not the wicks, the closure. If we make a closure below these last closures, not going to look good. All right, so let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below, one being the Discord. Definitely join the Discord. A lot of good conversation about trading crypto and investing. Markets as a whole, we stay ahead of the curve. We talk about these moves before they happen. We collectively figure out these markets. So here on Ethereum, we're having some trouble getting above this red zone, which if we do get rejected from it and Bitcoin goes down, I would expect us to come back down to these last lows. Now, if we can get back above this 200 and get out of this red zone, I would expect us to head back in this range. And then possibly that's where it's going to decide whether we get the bull trap or not. All right, I would expect a rejection from this range at 1411 region. Probably come back down to the 1366, maybe even consolidate there for a while. Now, Ethereum's getting up to the bullish control zone. We do have heavy resistance at the bullish control zone. I mean, as you see, we have got rejected. We even front ran 1, 2 times, 3 times. Rejected from it 1 time, 2 times. I mean, we got heavy resistance right here. We are above the signal line, so we do have some positive momentum. Do have a fresh cross of the 0 line. Retest of the signal line, resumption up. BBWP is very low, printing a blue bar read. Now, once we get above this moving average, that's when this consolidation will be over. And then we'll find out whether we can break out of the top of the red zone or the bottom. We're going to have major support on the bottom at 1325, where all these moving averages are. I mean, you got your 21, your 50, and your 100 coming down at the bottom of our red zone, which is also the POC point of control on the VPVR here to your right, which measures horizontal volume at a certain price point. Major support. So I would expect if we break that, we're hit. All right. So I would expect a minor bounce at 1280, then another bounce at 1240, then heading down to $1,000. If we do break these moving averages and the bottom of this red zone. All right, so the top of the red zone is going to be major resistance too. All right, we do have the end of the mountain on the VPVR here to your right. And I call these mountains. I mean, they look like sideways mountains. And each spike level is a high support or resistance level. All right, so if you have the paid plan, you can get the VPVR. And I would highly recommend it. It is a very good indicator. You can combine this with previous support and resistance levels and Fibonacci. That's how I get these purple boxes. All right, with those three variables. All right, so that's basically it. The bullish and bearish case. You break the top of the red zone, you break the bottom of the red zone. That's going to decide the true trend. Let's go to the order block and stochastic. All right, so the stochastic is entering overbought on the 4-hour. We did get the test of the signal line, resumption up. Now, as you can see, we can stay in here for a while. I mean, if you would have exited as soon as we got in the overbought zone, you would have missed this whole move. So just because it goes up there doesn't mean it will just pop right on out. Now, at 1300, we do have a bullish order block. All right, but it is above the 20 MA, which is the middle band on the Bollinger Bands at 1310. All right, so this is going to coincide with, check this out, breaking the moving averages. So if you get below 1310, you will break the moving averages, but I want to see a 1-hour closure, all right, to break those. That will decide the true trend. So let's move on to Solana. All right, so let's see here. Solana, on the other hand, is looking pretty good. Now, we'll probably get the pullback to the 21 at least. 3370. 3370. All right. So, and that's at least. We are getting rejected from out of the bullish control zone now, below the signal line. MACD, fresh cross to the downside. BBWP is expanding as the price action went up, but we could still get this pullback. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. We could still get this pullback down to the 21. All right, which we are sitting on top of a VPVR level right now, which is kind of why you're finding some support. But I do think we come down to the 21. So bullish case is that we get above this purple zone. Look at that. It bounced directly on our purple zone that we've had for a while. We've had that purple zone since all the way back here. These purple zones that I draw definitely are respected over time. So that's why we stick with it. And like I said, I use VPVR, previous support and resistance, and Fibonacci retracements and expansions. Or Fibonacci retracements. And let's see here. So BBWP is in the lower zone, but as soon as it starts to work its way up, eventually it's going to cross its moving average probably around this point. So that moving average is going to start coming down, start to lose its downside curvature. And then as soon as it crosses, I would expect the volatility to continue. I do think that happens pretty quick. Now, if we fall below the 21, it's not going to look good. That will break these last lows. All right, that would clarify that we did get rejected from the purple zone once again. I would expect a small bounce at the 50 at $33. Ultimately, I think we would come down to the 100 and 200, also where the POC point of control on the VPVR is. Now, if we break that, I would expect this to be a BART pattern. All right, so what a BART pattern is when you go straight up, chop around, and then head down. Looks like Bart Simpson's head. All right, so we do not want to fall below those major moving averages. If we do, I would expect a small bounce at 31, 35 region. Another bounce at this bottom of the purple zone. Ultimately, I think we would go to $25. That would also imply that this RSI gets into the bearish control zone. MACD starts working its way down, getting past this last resistance level on the MACD line as your BBWP works its way up. Now, let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour, looking pretty good, making a higher high. We got plenty of room to make a higher low. See this level down here? Coincides with our region on the 1-hour. So you need to stay above these major moving averages. Like I said, we're finding support on the 100, but if we break that, 33.50, probably come down to those other levels we were talking about on the 1 hour. Now, your MACD here, strong upside curvature, got the retest of the signal line, crossed above the 0 line. Positive momentum's increasing pretty good. Volatility expanding as the BBWP works its way into the upper zone. So here we go. Here we go. Let's go to the order blocks. So we will have strong resistance here at the 35.25 level. Oh, okay, so your stochastic is leaving the overbought zone, crossing below its signal line. It has the M pattern, which is usually bearish. So we could come down to the bottom of the bullish control zone, about right here, which is a last level of resistance and resistance, more resistance. And well, I would expect a bounce there. Now, if we fall below, well, like I said on the 1 hour, if we fall below these major moving averages, probably even the 50 at $33, we're going to be in deep shit. Honestly, we could probably break these moving averages if we break below the 50, because that would clarify the BART pattern already. All right, so little adjustment. All right, so once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links. Oh, hold on. Forgot about the bullish case. All right, so if we break, okay, so we're going to have to zoom out. If we break this last high on the 4 hour, I would expect this to come up to 35.41. Then, if we can break that, 37.19 region. But if we can break this last high, I think we go up to $41. All right, pretty quickly too. Honestly, even 45. Yeah, 45 would be what I'm looking at if we can break this last high. I would expect us to skyrocket if we can do that. All right, so once again, you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. Join the damn Discord. Stay ahead of the curve. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening. And I will see you tomorrow.